1-800-884-1346. That's 1-800-884-1346.
Well, our next guest is worried, very worried about the administration's inability to figure out what's happening with the economy or even whether they're hurting more than helping. And he's got enough experience both in creating markets and tracking markets to be taken very seriously. He is the founder of Overstock.com, just renamed O.co. He is Patrick Byrne, and he joins us now. Good to see you again, Patrick. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you, David.
So that's my greatest concern, is that the administration doesn't even realize that they are harming the economy right now, that so many of the things that they have done are hurting businesses.
Yeah, I don't know if anybody in D.C. really gets it, or very few people do. This all, yeah, they're now going from QE2 to QE3. They're just more disguised. If the Treasury was honest and they were just printing dollar bills, at least the public would see what's going on, that they were reflating the economy that way, but they're doing it through these other hidden mechanisms like QE2 and now different. So it's all just trickery. As you know, I think that there's another bubble coming. Where this recovery has been very soft. And I don't think there is a recovery. And certainly if we keep doing what we're doing now, we're not going to see it.
Well, actually, Ben Bernanke said, not recently, but he said about a month and a half ago that we cannot call this a recovery because we haven't had an increase in the number of jobs. So even Bernanke's saying it's not a full recovery.
Yeah, it's phony. They're just trying to reflate a bubble. They're trying to reflate a bubble long enough to get through the next election or something.
But, you know, I have a friend who's a social worker, and he deals with battered women. He said the worst situation of a wife beater. Again, I'm not calling anybody inside the Beltway a wife beater, but he says the worst kind of wife beater is one who doesn't think that he's doing anything wrong. The administration is attacking Boeing. They've attacked the GM shareholders. The EPA has had a full-scale attack on a lot of mining industries in this country. All these new financial rules and regulations, and of course Obamacare is really going to hurt in terms of regulation. And they genuinely believe, I think, that they are business friendly. They're delusional.
What they're doing with Boeing is the last nail in the coffin. The National Labor Relations Board has on it a guy who is somewhere to the left of, I mean, it's what they're doing to Boeing is a disgrace, and they're gonna gum up the labor market so bad that we can never have the adjustments we need to have in order to make things work. So that's terrible. Yeah, the way they crammed down the GM bondholders basically was to destroys the rule of law around the bond market. So. Yeah, but I don't think the problems sort of begin and end with this administration. We may differ a bit on that. I think there's a whole inside the Beltway point of view.
I agree with you. There are Republicans as well as Democrats who don't get it. In fact, there's one Republican who's running for president, John Huntsman, who used to be governor of your state, of the state of Utah, who you, I believe, used to think pretty highly of, but you've changed your mind. Why?
Oh, yes, absolutely. I was actually his biggest supporter, and now I think that it reminds me, I'm going to quote Karl Marx to you. Marx said that that history repeats itself, but the first time is tragedy, the second time farce.
Right.
If it was a tragedy this guy became governor, it's a farce if this guy were to become president.
But what changed your mind? You used to favor him, now you don't. What changed your mind?
He did two horrible things. One horrible thing was he sat in front of two witnesses in my living room as a candidate, or even before he announced, and he said, "What's your big issue?" I said, "School choice, vouchers."
Right.
He said, "Ah, that's amazing. That's amazing. That's why I'm running for governor. I want to be the voucher governor. And so I said, fine. I put all my support behind him. He got into office. Not only did he do nothing, he kind of drizzled on other people's efforts to get school choice.
Interesting.
A year later, after a bunch of pressure, so his second year in office, he let a watered-down bill get through the House and signed it, but then this teachers union put on a referendum to withdraw it, and I got all these messages to, we're inviting you and Governor Huntsman to come debate the school teachers union. So I called him and said, Governor, looks like we're going to be out there on the road together. He sent me a message through one of his staffers that said, Patrick, campaigning for this is outside my comfort zone.
Wow.
It was exactly, when he was a candidate and wanted my money and my support, it was, I'm doing this to become the, this is why I want to be the governor.
By the way, I got news for you, Patrick. The exact same thing happened with Christy Todd Whitman when she was governor of the state of New Jersey. She made a lot of promises to people on school vouchers, school choice, the same sort of thing, and she didn't have the guts to fight the teachers union. It's the power of the teachers union. So far, the only person really willing to take them on is Chris Christie from New Jersey.
Yeah, I agree, but there's more, man. I'll give you another story, a different story.
If it only takes 20 seconds, because we're almost out of time. Quickly.
Real quick. We passed in Utah, the state passed something that would restrict Wall Street. This is back in 06, 07. It would, Wall Street sent this massive lobbying effort out to Governor Huntsman. Governor Huntsman pulled a law, reneged on a law. If he had not done that, the crash of 2008 would not have been as bad. He caved to Wall Street just like he caved to the teachers union. This guy, don't think he's a centrist. He's not a Republican. Right. He's not a Democrat.
So the bottom line is we have to look for the folks who are willing to stand to special interests, whether they're the big banks or the big unions. That's the bottom line. Patrick Byrne, good to see you, my friend. Thank you very much. I'm sorry we ran out of time. Coming up on deck, we are $14.4 trillion.